In this demo, we will see how we can create and use the several types of actions available in OutSystems. In vODC Studio, we have an app already open with a screen that allows creating or editing orders. At this point, the UI of the screen is defined, but the logic to save the order in the database is not. The screen has a Save button already created. The button so far navigates to the Orders screen when clicked. However, we want to associate the logic to create or update an order with the on-click of the button. Let's change the on-click property of the button to select a new client action. This creates a new screen action that will execute on the client side when the Save button is clicked. This action already has some logic to check if the form is valid. This action could also be created on its own, and then associated to the Save button later, in the on-click property of the button. However, as you may have noticed, the action 1 is empty, and the association with the button is not done automatically. So, we can leverage the accelerator in the first approach and delete this new action. In one way or the other, we can add as many screen actions as we want. Let's continue developing the logic to create or update an order in the database. The form already has fields for the description, the customer, the priority, the reviewer, and the status. However, the order entity has some other fields that we want to fill with data before adding a new order to the database. The information we want to add is the date of creation and who created the order. Let's go back to the Save on Click action and do it. Now, we need to create or update the order in the database, using a server action already created. This server action encapsulates all the logic we need. So, let's add the action to our Save flow, right below the if. And set the input parameter expected to the order we are editing. As we see here, we can easily use server actions in our screen actions, just by dragging and dropping them. Let's just finish the action by redirecting the user to the previous screen. Remember that the form in our screen did not have all attributes. So let's look into the server action that creates the order on the database. Inside this action, we have an assign. This assign sets the values of the created on and created by attributes. The values will be set to the current date and the current logged in user respectively. Before we test this in the browser, it is important to see how we can create more server actions, or even client actions. In the Logic tab, we can simply right-click on the respective folder of the action we want, and click on Add Action. We can also add input or output parameters and local variables to any of these actions. Let's see the app running in the browser. Let's log in with Dave Developer. Let's create a new order and click on the Save button. As expected, the logic went through successfully and we're back at the Orders screen.